once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Mysteries from Beyond the Other Dominion. I'm your host, Dr. Franklin Ruehl. Today, we're going to ask if the mysterious KK particles actually exist. Tell you about the night that Nazi saboteurs landed in America. Investigate biblical accounts of suicide. And critique the 1951 sci-fi flick, Flight to Mars, starring Morris Ankrum, Cameron Mitchell, and Arthur Franz, and cover other intriguing subjects, time of course permitting. But first, the mysterious KK particles. Now back in 1919, German physicist Theodor Kaluza postulated that a fifth dimension outside of our known four dimensions actually exists. Now, he formulated this idea because he wanted to unite the classical theory of electromagnetism with the new theory of relativity. And he said that a fifth dimension was needed to somehow interlink these two theories. In 1926, another German physicist, Oscar Klein, added an amendment to that idea that fifth dimension would actually be carved out like an infinitesimal tiny loop. One consequence of their theory is that KK particles would exist in this fifth dimension. These would be counterparts of our ordinary electrons, protons, and neutrons, but heavier. Now fast forward to the 1990s, and astronomers are actually confronted with the so-called missing matter enigma. Our universe is expanding, but it has a definitive architecture that cannot be accounted for. 95% of the matter that would account for the gravitational cohesion we see today is simply missing, and a number of unusual particles have been postulated to account for this. Well, these KK particles existing in the fifth dimension, which are slightly heavier, would provide that gravitational cohesion, keeping our universe intact as it stands today. Now, how could we discover these particles since we cannot see the fifth dimension? Well, it is theorized that they would exist in high gravity zones, such as the centers of stars, such as our own sun. And when two collide, they would mutually annihilate each other, creating a neutrino, but a heavier than normal neutrino. Is there any way we could detect such neutrinos? Well, we have the Amanda neutrino detector down at the South Pole, and in 2005, the so-called Alpha magnetic spectrometer is scheduled to be placed aboard the International Space Station, although that may be delayed because of the tragedy with the Columbia Space Shuttle. But we have two possible means in the future of detecting these super heavy neutrinos, which would verify the existence of KK particles and in turn prove that we have a fifth dimension. So that discovery would be most momentous, solving two problems: extra dimensions and the missing matter enigma. And what's interesting here is that this man, Dr. Kaluza, formulated these ideas 80 years before we even had any idea there was a missing matter enigma. He is totally unheralded in the annals of science. So, for the rest of the day, we're declaring this Theodore Kaluza Day and posting his photo right there. Any objections?
Now until next time, may the power of the cosmos and of the KK particles be with you. Yes, yes, yes.